What up?
Boom, season 5, baby.
Best show cast on the interwebs that
Yes.
nobody knows about.
Well, those who know where it's at. We are where you is.
We is here.
Yep, that's right.
I mean, where else could you talk about like the fifth dimension?
I mean, like I went back and I was looking. I'm like, what were we smoking? I don't know. It's some good stuff, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, like there's a variety of topics. Okay, on the week, culminating to tonight, I was thinking about all this stuff. It's been a couple of months, right?
Yeah.
So it was thinking about like, oh, what should we talk about? What should we talk about? And I was just like, you know what? We're just gonna catch up, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know.
That's what we do.
I'm not putting on a college lecture. I'm not putting together a whole like, well, here's the syllabus. Here's the agenda of the show. We're free flowing, man. How you been?
Been good.
Yeah,
Been good. Been missing this.
yeah, absolutely. But so congratulations. We have gone to a milestone that I think comes from stick-to-itiveness. Okay, a lot of people start things. Okay,
Yeah.
so easy.
So easy.
And then you get to the point where it's like, you got to do this, you got to do that. And then, or maybe they just want instant results or whatever. We weren't looking for results.
No.
We stuck with it. We had pretty short seasons, first few.
Right.
And then we had one that was longer, and then it got cut short because we lost some episodes due to corruption.
No.
Not government corruption. It was just corrupted files. We burned through equipment and data.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the laptop somewhere.
I have it. You just wouldn't be able to understand it.
It's not audible.
It would be like robots talking.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Maybe.
be real.
Maybe if we ever have like what do they call that? Where you pay subscription. What is it?
Premium content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll throw it out there.
Yeah.
if we
Premium
ever have
content's going to require more work. Okay, so.
But I do have to say, you're absolutely right. A lot of people do this stuff. And like, yeah, I could get better at doing clips and stuff and like
but
pictures.
getting together, connecting everything, setting aside time.
But this is what we sit there and go, man, these YouTubers, right? It's like, this is a lot of work. Like they sit there and go through hours. Yeah, they go through hours of content and then have to chunk out 30
and
minutes.
then a lot of the ones that people see that have like, there's actually an entire production company.
Yeah.
I mean, there's camera people and sound people and all that stuff. So that's bordering on Hollywood. Okay. That was the whole essence of podcast was, hey, grab a couple of mics, let's go.
Yeah.
It's like the digital version of ham radio. We're on. You don't hear the audience.
We're on. You did it. We did it.
Now we do have capability of doing some maybe live shows or things like that. I think that will come in due time. But the capability is there and the willingness is there.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. But so season 5 kickoff. Where we're at right now, it is 2023. We're well into 2023.
Yeah.
We're almost like rounding out late February.
Going past the first
we're
quarter.
post balloon.
Post balloon.
It's like,
which one? We don't know.
Yeah, no, the first one was balloon. After that, like, who knows?
They're just shooting down stuff now.
I mean, I don't know. Is it because it was Chinese that people would do? Is it because it was just kind of like ball dragging across the United States? What was it that just had us super irritated? And then we just took the, overpowering aggression out and just shoot it down with a missile, right?
Which is $500,000 or something for a missile.
Right. And then we go recover the wreckage, which has just been blown into smithereens, right? But they blew the balloon.
They blew the balloon, not the equipment.
Right.
But it all was in the water. So it's like,
Yeah.
Why didn't you just shoot this thing down over Montana or wherever the heck it was when you first noticed that it was there? It's like there's nothing there.
Right. No offense.
No.
But
no, it's beautiful country, but I'm just saying there's like...
Yeah, they were like worried about the debris or whatever.
I mean, it's not like shooting it down under downtown Dallas where it could hurt somebody.
Where it would have come down in one piece anyway.
Right.
So, plus you could catch it.
But they told me there was like a drone or something that could have grabbed it.
That's what I'm saying. You could catch it.
Like, why are we shooting? Why are we shooting it down? Just go grab it.
Right.
So we can analyze it. Whatever.
It doesn't matter. We're not in those places in government. Plus, then they're like, okay, we found intel, but it's like on a need to know basis, and also it's like matter of national security. We can't disclose it.
Yeah, but okay, you can have files in your garage.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait till it gets discovered in like a room somewhere. So
next to your Corvette.
Don't worry, it'll be found in a storage locker somewhere. It's like, look, the balloon stuff. I don't know, man. It just, I look at it like whenever there's like a major distraction like that, that's literally all I call it.
Oh yeah, it's a distraction from something else.
It's something else. It's like, all right, look over here, and it's like, okay, what is happening right now that they want to distract everyone at this moment?
I'm paying $8 for eggs.
Right. Yep. Seriously. Yeah. My kids are asking me like, why are eggs so high? And I'm like, and because sometimes there's not even eggs around, and then there's like eggs around, so it's not even a supply issue because there's plenty. It's just higher.
It's just gas.
And then it's like, is this anything right now? It's like, no, apparently some bird flu went around a year ago. How long does it take to grow chickens? Egg-laying chickens. None of this makes any sense.
No.
You can't even fact-check anything.
No.
Yeah. I mean, how do I know? How do you know anything?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why we don't. That's why we talk about nothing.
Right. But at the same time, so like, referencing our show about conformity, right? It's good to have objective thoughts, okay? Yeah. But you can't just decide to live in your own reality, okay? There is a process of like, okay, look, at some point we do have to have like common realities, okay? Like, okay, it is February, this is the calendar year, this is what's going on, this is what isn't. We got to have some basis. What ends up happening is like when we start having so much, everything's up for discussion. Everything, there's two sides to everything, right? Then we don't have common, when we lose that commonality, we don't have that common base. Right. You know what we lose? Common sense.
Goes out the window.
Goes out the window because it's like you don't have a foundation to build it on. What happened to common sense? It's like rules and stuff. Listen, common sense. If you're sick, like this lady at work, she comes to work, so it's not doing the mask, right? Good. But you're sick. You're sick.
And you're here.
You're sick. You're here. You're at your desk. You're coughing like crazy. You should leave now. Okay, you made your point. You're visibly
sick
and audibly sick. So she's got this like, I don't know, it was like not a towel, like a rag or something, and she's holding it in front of her mouth like this. And I'm like,
Did she pick it up with the tongue?
I'm just like, listen, common sense says
stay home.
You don't need to be here.
Right. Just make a phone call.
Yeah.
Say I'm sick. I'm going to work from home.
If you're well and around, work from home. It's not legalistic. It's not about taking advantage. Just don't do it, man. I don't know. Give me something about common sense that's not about sickness. What would you say it's like one of your beliefs that's not based on politics or that like it's just common sense?
Well, I mean,
like let's say driving.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah, I mean you're driving. Yes, there's construction or maybe it's rain or whatever. Common sense.
Common sense says don't drive while looking at your phone.
Sure. Yeah.
That drives me nuts.
Yeah. There's distracted driving for sure.
Right.
And
And I know I brought it up several times before, just because you plaster your car with like new driver, be patient. Mm-hmm. We should just be patient anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Unless you're just obscenely just not doing what the law tells you to do, which is actually the speed limit.
Right. But like I think the other thing that we've gotten really too accustomed to the models and predictions and it's weather. I think prior to having a 10-day outlook or even hour by hour forecast, you look out the window, man. I mean, and then if it's cold, put on a jacket.
Right. Well, that just like our work. So we had our sales kickoff here during the ice storm, and our actually I was really impressed with our CEO because there's a lot of negative things like there's people in multiple hotels, and they had range transportation to come to the one hotel. Obviously, with snow on the ground, I had to drive through it because I had executives that had to get to the airport. So I was driving through it, and I'm just like, wow, this is a mess.
Yeah.
And buses are sliding off, and like, things are happening. But at the end, he was just like, he responded back. He goes, listen, we always go towards the negative first. He goes, let's talk about what the team did right. And he goes, I don't know why all these people are at different hotels, but I assume there's an answer.
Okay.
Right. And
if the convention was going to be in one place, why are they all over the place?
Right. So that was one of their complaints. And he's like, well, I assume there's a reason. Probably they can't hold everybody here, or there's something else going on at this hotel, and we only got half of it.
Right.
So sorry, we had to spread he goes, I don't know. But then he's all like, but what else did we do right? He goes, we made sure they got back to their hotel safely early. Like, we're not driving out on the roads when it's icy.
Right.
And he goes, who can predict this stuff? And then this one guy chimed up and goes, that happened the same time last year. I'm like, yeah, but you can't predict that.
Right.
Like, I can't say this day next year it's going to be a nice
The flip side of that would have been like, hey, we're going to delay the kickoff because last year there was weather and it's possible. So we're just going to do it in March. Then people will be like, that makes no sense.
Right.
Right. So like hindsight, you can prove anything, but it's not a predictor. Yeah, I think
common sense says, look at the situation and put yourself, like, if you're going to complain about something, put yourself on the other side of that.
Right. But it does require the person who does the observation to have a basis to make that judgment.
Right.
Okay. Now, you have to back up to when there's learning time and people are inactive on learning, and then there's access to information, and then they're reluctant on accessing information, and everybody just wants to be short attention span, entertain, flip channels, whatever, streaming. What ends up happening is like you can choose to fill your head with useless information. So when common sense time comes around, you don't got the right tools to make that sense.
Hence, like, I'm trying to leave the hotel to go home on Wednesday, and keep in mind, like, stuff is melting and then iced over again. Common sense would say, probably shouldn't drive my sports car downtown. This guy drives his sports car, gets stuck in the parking lot. I can't get around him to go home.
Right.
So I got to help this guy out in his sports car. And I'm like, why did you even drive it? It's cool, man. I'm like, yeah, cool. You look really cool right now. You can't even move 30 inches on the sheet of ice.
Yeah. So I think again, we were only looking at it maybe from like a male perspective, but in terms of when I was talking about like weather and we're looking at functionality and things like that, and you said it's cool with the sports car, it reminded me of like how like men dress for an occasion. It's kind of utility. Maybe some parts of it is for look, but really like
for me, it's comfort.
It's comfort, utility. Maybe again, like I have pockets, and like the pockets have a purpose.
Right.
You put things in, whatever, the jacket, the pants pockets and things like that. You look at like women's outfit, it doesn't make any sense at all, right? And it's definitely not for comfort. That's why it's really almost like just for like the first like 10 minutes. After that, it's like shoes come off.
Yeah.
Let me wear your jacket. It's like, were you prepared for the same event?
And then when you get home, then watching them trying to get out of it.
Yeah, I got to get out of this. Where like if I come home, I mean, barring like if I don't want to make a mess on it, I could continue wearing this outfit. It's fine.
Right.
Now, if I'm going to go like grill or something, I might change, just because I don't want to get stains on it or smell or whatever, right? But I could do what I'm doing back at home with the same stuff. I don't need to just jump out of it, because it's like not comfortable. So it's one of those things. It's like let's say if you're at an event like that, a sales event, right? And let's say some emergency thing happens and everyone's like, okay, let's all go to the parking lot and wait. There's going to be people that are completely like unfit to be outside.
Yeah, they're like heels and
straps and nothing. It's just like half of the shoulder. What is happening? You're like half dressed. Do you have a jacket? No. Yeah. Now, I say that not to just be like male, female. It's like kids, too. They lack that common sense. I tell my son, I'm like, hey, it's 35 degrees outside. You don't want a jacket? I'm only going to be outside for 10 seconds from the car to inside. Inside, I like to be comfortable, so I'm not going to carry around a jacket with me. All right. Well, after school, he said, we're going to do track and field practice. Pick me up at 4:30. I said, you got it. Well, turns out they finished early. And he was out there from 4:10 to 4:30. That day, he didn't have his phone with him, so he had no way of communicating with me. So I show up at 4:30, like 25 or so. He's like, man, I've been out here for like 15 minutes freezing. I'm like, first of all, that's because you chose to not wear the right outfit.
Right.
Second of all, you didn't bring a phone. You're not using the phone part of the phone right.
Right.
That's what it was for communication.
That's just like my daughters, though. Like, I'm like, hey, it's cold outside. You sure you don't want a jacket? No. And I was like, all right. And then we get out. Hey, it's cold. I'm going to go. And they go run and grab a jacket. And then we get where we're going, and they hand the jacket to the mother. And I'm like, no. That's you get to carry it.
Yeah.
It's yours now.
Yeah. That's the whole point of that.
You see me? I'm carrying mine.
Yeah. I guess the only exception to that is when, I guess that there's experienced travelers, right? And then maybe I don't know what it is, but like when we go to like pack, it almost seems like we're packing like we're gonna be somewhere for like weeks on end. Like you just overpack. Like
me, I don't. I've got it down.
I've recently gotten better, but it used to be where it's like I get there and I'm like unpacking, and then like half the stuff I'm putting it right back in. I'm like, I didn't need all this. I don't know why I brought so many outfits.
Yeah, I challenge Marnie now, so I'm like, hey, like she goes on a work trip. I'm like, you got too much here. Like you're not gonna get it on a carry-on.
Yeah, I hear the same other end of that conversation. It's like I'm gonna want to have options. I'm like, pick now. Like, if you're not gonna choose this entire outfit, like if you're gonna bring 6 pairs of shoes only to pick 2 of them, wear one, bring one. That's it.
Yeah. I go, or you're going to have to check.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, I don't want to check. And I'm like, you got to get rid of an outfit.
Yeah. If you're bringing stuff just to kind of like not choose it, it's
right.
Don't bother. It's better to travel light. Yeah. I don't know. Like same with like my car, I have a lot of utility stuff in the center console. Extra batteries, charging cable, napkins, dad napkins. Mm-hmm. You go through the drive-through, get some extra napkins.
Yeah.
Always have them in there.
Right.
They may not all match. Some Dunkin' napkins.
But you never know.
You never know.
Driving to church and a little, oh man.
Somebody needs, you reach in and it's there. Oh, it's always full. It's not a tissue box. It's just dad napkins. I got salsa. I mean, there's stuff in that. That's like the male purse, the center console.
We could survive for a couple of days.
If you need something, you just keep going in there. You're gonna find it.
You're like the Uber driver, Uber Black driver. He's like, I got iPhone 20.
Yeah,
it's not even out yet. You want charger?
There's gum. There's mints. I'm sure. There's whatever you need is in there. There's stuff in there. But I went to put gas in my wife's car, and I opened up the center console. I don't know what I needed. I think she asked me to make copies of a house key that she listed, and she said it's in the center console. I opened up the center console. I'm like, oh my goodness.
I'm lost.
It's like not to judge. I mean, mine is not like
organized. Right.
But there's functions and utility to these things. This is like receipts and not like receipts for major purchases. It's like I bought one coffee and there's a receipt here from December. We're done with that. That's done. That should have been out next time you get out of the car. Like, that should leave with you. Should leave with that cup.
Right.
Right in the cup, out the door. I mean, I go to get gas. I get rid of trash all around. Bring it out. I mean, I can't just keep things like the little. It's not even a stir. What's that little the green
splash? It's a splash shield, so it doesn't splash up.
Take it out. You lick it. Okay, and then what do you do with it? It's useless at that point. You don't keep it though. Like there's 2 or 3 of them in the center console. I'm like, come on, man. This is like health hazard. This has been in the liquid.
This is COVID just sitting there.
Oh, like, because it's been licked. How old is this?
Oh man.
So and then like there was one napkin, but I think it had gum in it. So it's been folded. I mean, I don't know. It could be the kids. I don't know. But they shoved that stuff in. I go through. I'm just like, yeah, dude. Once I got rid of the garbage, there was like a few things. There was like a couple of pieces of paper or whatever. And then the keys I found and maybe like an opener.
Nah.
Nice and clean. I'm like, you actually don't have anything in here.
You're right.
It just needed to be cleaned out.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I don't know. So when we say common sense, but I don't think we're common in our sense. I think things have deviated for sure. I don't know when that is. It goes.
Sometimes I just even at work, you're just like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Like, really? Like, what are we doing here?
I'll give you this example. So this one, I don't know if it could still classify as common sense, but so this developer, they were working on some code that was due end of January 26th to be exact. So this was going on in December. And as the deadline started approaching, they were inside the first week of January. Everyone's back. All right, 3 weeks to go. Okay, yes, still on pace. All right, week to go. Yes. Yeah, we'll have it done January 26th. It's the 24th. It's a day and a half from now. Like, any side of this thing, oh, yeah, it's coming. Come January 26th, they're like, I'll have it to you by the end of the day. And I'm like, man.
When you start saying that, you know you're in trouble.
I'm already like, yeah, this is it. This isn't happening. Like, if you had something, I would have seen it on the 19th.
Yeah, this thing's going out another month.
It's kind of functioning. We're fine-tuning. It's so far nothing. And then it's like, end of the day. Okay. Well, end of the day comes, and they're like, yeah, it's almost done. It's very rough. We're still working on it, but it's all there.
Done.
Yeah, it should be done. So now the other people that need this are waiting for it. by the 31st, they ship it out, right? And so this is important because they send it out to the third party who needed it. Come first week of February, it was like February 4th exactly, because not the 11th. February 4th, they were like, hey, we're having some issues with this thing. And I'm like, I knew it. Like, it was shaky. I never saw it work. Right. Then they sent it out 5 days later. And they're like, we're having problems. And they played it off that, like, these people are having problems with it. We're like, so as a project milestone, they marked it off. Shipped. It's done. We're done. It's in their hands now. They come back to, like, we got problems, this and that. Another week goes by, bro. 2/11, they go, listen, here's what's wrong with this thing. You didn't build it to spec. This part doesn't work. This part doesn't work. And we can't even access this part. I'm like, okay, this is beyond I knew it. We're now way past our original deadline.
Right.
And what you sent out doesn't work. Here's where common sense comes in. If you packaged up garbage and sent it out and continued working on it, like the extra time you bought yourself while you pretended like you were done, then when they say, hey, we're having problems, you go, what are you talking about? No, it's all good. And then they go, look, here's the problems. You go, no, look, let me send it again.
Here's
and then just boom, and then it worked. I saw this work with during COVID when my kids were doing the schoolwork from home. So the assignment would come up on their computer. And my son, he, 3 years ago, so he was like in like 5th grade at the time. And he had learned the thing needed an attachment. So he had this like blank PDF. It was just like a blank page saved as a PDF. He just upload that. And a lot of times, according to him, it would just take it and it would mark the assignment completed. From time to time, the teacher would come back and say, hey, there's a problem with your attachment. And then he would say, oh, here it is. And he'd just send it again. So the teacher would reopen that link and then he'd re-upload it and he would get full credit because he turned it in on time. Right. Because if you don't turn it, let's say it was due on the 26th and you wanted to upload it on the 31st, it would mark it late.
Yeah, right.
You would only get 70% for it. And I'm like, this is someone in 5th grade figured out how to game the system. This guy, this is that 5th grader, but the common sense part is missing.
Right.
You shipped out the blank PDF, but you didn't use the time to go finish the work.
Right.
You're over here
just going,
believing the delusion like it's working, even though you know it's not working. I know it's not working. And then now you're like, wait, what are you talking about? Bro, today I get off the phone. They're still working on it.
You can't make this stuff up.
They're like, well, you know, we're still fleshing some stuff out. You know, it's still sort of work. They were like, look, just work with that. Build your setup on that. We're still working on it. They go, we can't until you finish. I need the framework from you. So if you're going to change it, what we're going to do isn't going to work. If what I'm expecting is going to change, then it won't work. So you can't just send something to me that you're planning on changing. That's why you went first. That's why we waited till the 26th. Right. And just like common sense would have been, even if you're not finished and you're out of time and you're going to ship out incomplete work, continue working on it. Don't believe like you finished and just move on to something else. You know it's coming back.
Right.
You know that you should like everybody else who was surprised, like, wait, what? There's a problem? You shouldn't have been surprised. You should be like, that sucker doesn't work.
Right.
I'm in my mind. So when I said it was today, it was like literally like 4:00 today. In my mind, it comes down to like zero accountability. When there's no accountability, you could be as foolish as you want. Nobody's doing anything about it.
Prime example. Having a conversation with the VP the other day, I was like, listen, I need to know, because we just passed our first milestone date on our account planning for this year, which is already late in my mind's eye. Oh, what's the repercussions of this? He's like, you just need to get them to get it done. And I was like, okay. I go, here's what I need from you then. And I started a long laundry list. He's like, why do I need to do that? Because they ain't listening to me. Mm-hmm. Otherwise it would have been done. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh. So I'm just like, common sense is like, just because you have somebody leading something,
right,
doesn't mean that everybody's going to listen to that person, because guess what? Salespeople, path of least resistance. And they're going to take something right up to the line and then just sit.
Well, if the first time this thing was late, if we made a big deal about it on the 26th or the 31st, then the next person would have been like, wow, I saw what happened there. Next time it's due on the 26th, I'm going to turn it in on the 19th. I'm going to turn it in on the 24th.
Right.
Way before. Somebody says, I'll have that to you by the end of the day. I start asking Omar, like, what day are you, like, what time zone are you at?
What day?
And are you talking about like 5 o'clock end of day or like 10:30 end of day? Am I waiting for this at 8 o'clock? Is it still coming, or did you just flake? Because literally it happened. He was like, no, by the end of today. I said, okay. I think it was like a little language barrier too. He sent it at 11 p.m. That's not, what are you going to do, man? Like, you could send something to me at 11 p.m. Like I'm still waiting for this. You missed it, man. Before end of day, to me...
The fact that those words came out of your mouth...
meant I expected before 5, not even 4:58.
No, the fact that came out of your mouth means that you don't have it done. You don't know what it's going to take to get it done. And you sat on it for too long, and now it's due.
You know what that tells me? I know you haven't even started on it.
Right.
You're just kind of throwing a marker out there like, I'll have it done today.
Yep.
Because if you've started something, you know how close you are to finishing.
Yep.
Then you could give a really good projection of where it's at. When you need like a lofty projection, like end of day, sun's down, are you still working?
I mean, it's a different for me saying, hey, I'll get you that report by the end of the day.
Yeah.
But to get you code for something to be done, once somebody says that to me, it's like instantly, it's like, you haven't done anything, and what I'm going to get is complete garbage.
So we've talked about it from a work perspective, from the world perspective, from kids' perspective, male,
wife's
female perspective. Here we go. Boom. In marriage terms, there is no end of day.
No.
It's right effing now. Okay. So it's like, hey, honey, you want to take out the trash? That's not a question of whether you want to. It means get up, take out the trash now. Now, to be proactive is to
just see the trash is full.
It's full. Take it out. You don't need to be asked. What are you, 5 years old? But if they say, hey, could you take this out? Or like, hey, can you load the waters in the fridge? Yeah. Or hey, can you
pick up the kids?
They mean right now. Not like, oh, sure, I'll do it. Like, this date or timeline that you have in your mind may work at work. It does not work in marriage. Because if you're still listening, this is the nugget that might save your marriage. I'm right now. If you're a man and you're like, my wife asked me to do something, and next thing you know, she's out there doing it because you didn't do it immediately. That's why.
I always add the caveat now. Like,
she means now.
I look at her and she goes, yeah, now. I was like, okay.
Because like I grilled the other day and I said, don't worry, I'll clean it all up. Well, I meant it, and I meant that I will do it. Like, literally 5 minutes later, she's out there like trying to clean it. I'm like, I said I'll do it. She's like, no, it's okay, I got it. And I'm thinking, literally, like, in those 5 minutes, the period where the tolerance for when I was going to do it expired.
Right.
Clearly, you have no intentions of doing this. I had 100% intention of doing it.
It's my timing.
Now, if you were doing it and it would take you 30 minutes, it's not like someone's going to jump in and help out.
Right.
But it required immediate reaction. That immediacy, that's only reserved for marriage. It doesn't last. It's not in friendship. It's not in parent-child. It's not even in the dating world because, you know, people say, hey, we have a 7 o'clock reservation, and then they're still getting ready, you know. Right. So, but in marriage,
6:59.
Yeah, yeah.
Haven't even left yet.
Yeah, you get in the car, and it's like, hey, can you text them, tell them we're on our way, making me do the dirty work. I'd be there already.
I'd be there.
I don't need to text anyone.
But that's where I think me and you are alike. We're like, I'll see you there.
Yeah,
because
we're coming in at the same time. I don't know. So on the, I think as a ode to our first episode, to How Late Is Too Late, and we're talking about this on season 5, episode 1. If you're supposed to be somewhere at 6 o'clock, okay, what's your arrival time? Not you personally, you as a couple arrival time.
Oh. 20 to 30 minutes.
That's late. It. It's like 6:30. It's not 6.
No.
Not 6. Part of it is because I don't like to be like super early.
I like being at 5, 10.
So let's say it depends on the group size, right? Yeah. So if there's, let's say, I want to be in the first 30% of the attendees, but not in the first like 10%.
So you're like 5, maybe
10
4.
minutes into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I like. That way.
But I have a feeling that like most people though, I'd still say
you're in the back half.
You're fitting into the first 10% if you're 10 minutes early.
Not 10 minutes early. 10 minutes after the posted time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm still definitely in the first half. If
right.
you shoot for that 30 minutes, you're definitely part of the second half arrivals.
I just like to be early.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, there's some people that like to be like the last to, like, just late arrivals.
Right.
I don't like doing that. And if it's just late, it's late. But,
I mean, Marnie's always showing up at church and like praise and worship's half over.
Yeah. I try to do it earlier, but you know, I'm not gonna like leave everyone just so I can be there
right.
early. So I'd rather bring the crew and show up late. Although anyway, we get pretty good seats, even 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just gotta know where to look.
With all the seat covers?
Yeah, so what I do is I go straight down, about 3 rows up from the bottom, plenty of room.
Although nobody really cares about this, but we're just talking. So we got like 300 seats now on the floor.
Yeah. We'll see. I just think people don't commit to diving down far enough. So they want like the first available, so they just keep cutting it. So the higher rows actually are more congested because they're just dying to get in. Just keep going. Keep going. And all of a sudden you just see like really good openings. And then I just go in and it's just like, this is great. Yeah. So, and like with confidence, like I'm like going in and then it's like as if like those are my seats. Cause like I know where it is. Like it's open there.
Right.
So I think you could, that's part of my common sense is because I'm relying on the greater common sense of like, just get in. And I'm like, that's not going to work.
No.
Because it's going to be crowded. I'll just kind of go against it and then go down and there's going to be stuff there. But I'm sure more of this will come up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, congrats.
Yeah. Another one started.
Yeah. 5-1, baby.
Yeah.
See y'all soon.
See ya.